Welcome to Vietnam operations, which comprise Blocks 1 and 2. This block is located about 160 kilometers east of Vũng Tàu Port, Vietnam, at a water depth of 50 meters. Crude oil is produced at wellhead platforms, including Ruby Alpha platform, Ruby Bravo platform, Pearl platform, Topaz platform, and Diamond platform. Production is transferred for processing by seabed pipeline to floating production storage and offloading (FPSO) unit. The net total crude oil production for Blocks 1 and 2 is 20,000 barrels per day. FPSO unit Ruby 2. FPSO Ruby 2 is located near the platform in the Ruby field and is owned and operated by Vietnam Offshore Floating Terminal, VOFT. Ruby Bravo platform is located 3.5 kilometers from Ruby Alpha platform, while FPSO Ruby 2 is located 2 kilometers away from Ruby Alpha platform. PCVL has extended the field development to cover the nearby field of Pearl and Topaz. Pearl Field is located approximately 6 kilometers south of Ruby Field, with a water depth of 49 meters. Meanwhile, Topaz is located approximately 16.5 kilometers northeast of Ruby Field, with a water depth of 42 meters. The new field is Diamond, which has recently been commissioned, May 2014, located approximately 18 kilometers from FPSO Ruby 2, with a water depth of 42 meters. And crew change is carried out once a week at PTSC Port. The safety briefing is coordinated to all crew before departure. All 5 platforms are designed to be unmanned. However, current manning philosophy is normally unmanned, where the platforms are manned 24 hours for 2 shifts of 12 hours per day, 2 by 12 hours. The objectives of this video are to show you what is the operations of HSC case, what are the major accident hazards, how are they being managed to a level of as low as reasonably practicable, alarm, and how are the operation HSC case is operationalized. The key principle to operationalize Operation HSC case has been designed to be the OIM care. To support this, Operation HSC case and relevant documents and information have been developed to demonstrate OIM care. It demonstrates that OIM truly cares when someone comes to the facility with an Operation HSC case. They would see this. The O element tells us that Block 1 and 2 are operated in accordance with the O. Operating envelope is documented in cases like a structural limit using a matrix of permitted operations, MOPO, applying the approval process of overriding shutdown systems, and etc. The cases are kept current with the latest standard. When there are any changes, the cases are consulted. The 2015 PCVL Operations HSC case demonstrates that major accident hazards have been identified and documented in hazards and effect registers. Control of major accident hazards, safety and critical elements are available and functional in the operational phase. All justifiable risk reduction measures have been incorporated. Emergency response plans, on-site and off-site, where necessary in relation to major accident hazards have been prepared. The management of hazards is in line with the company standards. The I element tells the installation maintenance schedule for SCEs in Block 1 and 2 are set to CMMS. Maintenance compliance in accordance to the prescribed standard are monitored through the Facility Status Management, In order for us to operationalize this element, we need to know what safety critical elements are for Block 1 and 2 operations. In Block 1 and 2 operation, SCEs are grouped into 8 general barrier groups based on similar functions. Number 1. Structural integrity barrier. 2. The process containment barrier. 3. The ignition control barrier. 4. The protection system barrier. 5. The detection system barrier. 6. The shutdown system barrier. 7. The emergency response barrier. And 8. The life-saving barrier. Let us draw the facility to see where the SCEs are and what would be the impact if they were to fail. Structural integrity. SCEs for structural integrity barrier Block 1 and 2 operations are: jacket which supports the topside. Topside structure. Topside structures are required to provide the necessary support for all the process equipment, utilities and life-saving facilities, and to prevent the sudden and progressive collapse of the installation within the specified endurance period. Process containment. SCE for process containment barriers for Block 1 and 2 operations are: pressure vessel, operational well containment, rotating equipment, relief system, include PSV and PDV. Tanks, example, wash water tank, diesel tank. Heat exchanger. Piping system and pipeline. Loss of integrity could result in escape fluid under pressure of hazardous materials with the potential to cause harm to people and/or the environment. Ignition control. SCEs for ignition control barrier Block 1 and 2 operations are: hazardous area ventilation. Turbine enclosures in battery rooms are provided with ventilation fans to prevent the formation of potentially hazardous concentrations of flammable or toxic gaseous mixtures in hazardous areas by providing adequate ventilation to dilute, disperse, and remove such mixtures to a suitable location. Non-hazardous area ventilation. Non-hazardous area ventilation systems are used to prevent the ingestion of flammable gas in non-hazardous areas by pressurizing these areas. Certified electrical equipment. Certified electrical equipment is installed in hazardous areas to avoid ignition of flammable gases, oil, or mist. Earth bonding to prevent spark generation at all times. Fuel gas purge system. Inert gas blanket system. Control this ignition source, prevent disasters like this. Protection system. SCEs for protection system barrier for Block 1 and 2 operations are: helideck foam system, fire water system, gaseous fire protection system. CO2 fire suppression system is available at all turbine enclosures and generators. Chemical ingestion system to control internal corrosion. Fixed foam system. Navigation aid. Firewall. Detection system. SCEs for detection system barriers for Blocks 1 and 2 operations are the fire and gas detection system that comes with the control panel consisting of smoke detector, flame detector, gas detector. Fusible system. Failure of ignition control, detection, and shutdown system will result in a small fire turning into a major fire. Shutdown system. Emergency shutdown system. Depressurization system. Well isolation. Emergency response. SCEs emergency response system barriers for Blocks 1 and 2 operations, primary muster areas, escape and evacuation routes, emergency escape lighting, emergency power, communication systems, uninterruptible power supply, helicopter facilities, manual firefighting equipment, process control and alarms, open hazardous, non-hazardous drains, life-saving. SCE's life-saving barriers for Blocks 1 and 2 operations, personal survival equipment, life buoy, life jackets are provided at the platform. Standby boat with FRC. Lifeboats, life raft and rope ladder are provided as secondary means of escape. Boat landing area. These SCEs save lives during an emergency. Failure of any of these barriers or SCEs could lead to a major oil spill like this or fire, in which case either one could be victims or fire loss of a boat in a place like this. Which means never be rebuilt. The M element represents identified M, major accident hazards that are known to a set operator. Management of MAH Block 1 and 2 operations are demonstrated in bow ties and documented in the Operation HSC case. Everyone can differentiate between the hazardous activities that are performed out there as opposed to the critical safety activities. These major accidents hazards are managed to ALRP level by using the hazards and effects management process through Blocks 1 and 2 Operation HSC case. A specific hazard is classified as a major accident hazard. Major accident hazards are represented by risks ranked as red, very high E4, E5, D5, orange, high, B5, C5, D4, E3, and yellow, A5. The best practice bow tie assessment identifies the required barrier or barriers to prevent the releasing of these major accidents. The C element stands for C, compliance, LRP principles, and documented through HEMP. The A element indicates the A, accountabilities, is established and set of the critical activity catalog. The activity catalog is available in part of 4B of the case. This is the example of activity sheet. The R element indicates the R remedial action plan tracking process is in place and functioning. Action parties have been selected to close out the RAP track and those remedial action items to completion. The E element indicates the E engagement session by management on a regular basis to reinforce understanding of Block 1 and 2 operation, HSC case, intentions. Safety is everyone's responsibility. This includes the management. This is the minimum expectation from the Operation HSC case team on managers in terms of operationalizing the case's leadership, and commitment is fundamental to successful HSEMS. OM should maintain the functionality and availability of SCES to its performance standards. Ensure activities to maintain the SCEs according to procedures by a competent person. When an SCE is being deactivated for maintenance or other works, it must be reinstated as soon as work is completed. Unavailability of SCE in conjunction with other concurrence activities are to be managed using SCEs versus MOPO. Thank you for your attention. If you are in doubt, please ask.